Russian President Vladimir Putin has confirmed that full-scale production of the Oreshnik intermediate-range ballistic missile, IRBM, has begun, marking a significant new phase in Russia's missile development strategy. This announcement was delivered during a national broadcast to recent graduates of military academies, signaling the missile's rising prominence within Russia's defense agenda. It was Putin's first direct reference to Oreshnik since highlighting its heat-resistant properties earlier in 2025 at the Future Technologies Forum. The missile was also previously mentioned during the 2024 EA-EU summit as a potential strategic option if circumstances warranted. Oreshnik is widely believed to be based on the RS-26 Rubezh, a mobile, solid-propellant missile project that was previously sidelined due to resource prioritization for other systems like the Avangard hypersonic glide vehicle. Its reappearance in operational planning underscores a shift in Russian military priorities amid increasing global tensions. The missile's debut in active operations occurred in November 2024 when it was launched, without a nuclear payload, against the Yuzmash industrial complex in Dnipro, Ukraine. Official Russian sources framed the action as a reprisal for Ukrainian strikes using Western-provided long-range munitions such as ATACMS and Storm Shadow missiles. Kremlin press secretary Dmitry Peskov described the launch as a calculated display of military capability, and claimed the U.S. was informed of the strike half an hour beforehand as a courtesy, not out of obligation. Technical assessments place Oreshnik in the category of high-speed IRBMs, with estimates suggesting it travels at speeds exceeding Mach 10 and has a reach of roughly 5,000 kilometers. It reportedly carries multiple independently targetable re-entry vehicles, MIRVs, each potentially capable of delivering precision-guided submunitions. Mounted on mobile launch platforms, the missile's low launch visibility and short boost phase complicate interception by traditional missile defense systems. Analysts like Igor Korochenko point to these attributes as essential for evading satellite surveillance and rapid response systems. Speculation is growing that Oreshnik units may soon be positioned in Belarus under new bilateral arrangements for joint deployment. Satellite analysis of the Dnipro strike area found minimal damage, some roof deformation but no extensive structural destruction. Components recovered at the site bore markings linked to the R-30 Bulava missile series, prompting speculation that inert payloads were used. U.S. and Ukrainian defense sources noted that even unarmed hypersonic warheads can inflict kinetic damage. Strategic analysts, including Dr. Jeffrey Lewis, interpreted the launch as a geopolitical signal rather than a military necessity. Several media outlets and defense think tanks assessed the missile's use as part of a larger intimidation strategy directed at Western capitals and new leadership in the United States. Russian media followed up with graphics showcasing the missile's theoretical flight paths to European capitals, reinforcing its role as a psychological deterrent. Moscow has tied the Oreshnik program to the collapse of Cold War-era arms control treaties. The United States' 2019 withdrawal from the INF Treaty and Russia's 2023 suspension of the New START Accord are often cited by Russian officials as pivotal moments that cleared the way for renewed missile development. Putin has stated that the previously declared Russian moratorium on intermediate-range systems would be lifted if similar U.S. deployments resumed, an eventuality that Russian diplomats, including Sergei Ryabkov, now claim has materialized. Current diplomatic channels between the U.S. and Russia remain closed on arms control, with Moscow insisting that any new agreements must be built on fundamentally different premises. Domestically, the Kremlin continues to portray Oreshnik as part of a larger response to perceived NATO aggression. In his June 2025 speech, Putin accused the alliance of manufacturing the image of a Russian menace to drive defense spending and unity among its members. He reaffirmed commitments to further military enhancements across multiple domains, particularly missile forces, nuclear deterrence, and naval capabilities. Among the systems expected to be fielded are new Tu-160M strategic bombers and Yars ICBMs, alongside expanded investments in precision naval armaments and unmanned combat platforms. Military analysts inside Russia believe the Oreshnik missile will ultimately be integrated across all major army formations, both for tactical and strategic use. Former Colonel Mikhail Koternak argued that its operational flexibility would enable Russia to project power from the Western theater to the Pacific. According to experts like Korochenko, the defense industry is already coordinating logistics to ensure that the delivery timeline aligns with the military's wider modernization goals. Some units could be stationed in Belarus, should the necessary infrastructure be established on schedule. The international reaction to Russia's use of Oreshnik has been predictably sharp. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky labeled the November launch an escalation aimed at spreading fear and urged a unified global response. European leaders, including Germany's Chancellor, echoed concerns at the UN, warning that Russia's actions could destabilize regional security. The NATO-Ukraine Council condemned the strike as an act of intimidation meant to undermine Ukraine's resilience and discourage Western assistance. Security analysts have flagged a growing risk of miscalculation, noting that the use of conventional ballistic missiles with nuclear-capable delivery systems raises ambiguity during crises. The resemblance of Oreshnik to systems previously banned under arms control treaties adds further complexity, especially as it revives a platform previously excluded from formal deployment frameworks. These concerns are magnified by the absence of any formal communication channels to manage escalation risks between the nuclear superpowers. As Russia pushes ahead with deployment plans and the West recalibrates its deterrence posture, the Oreshnik missile symbolizes more than just a weapons platform. It marks a new era of missile brinkmanship in an increasingly unstable global order.